It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it'd seem like you nutted at just a woman's tut.
So we start this off with the Flash answering an emergency call to his own Flash museum, and his whole rogues galleries there just trashing the place. Hey guys, you didn't have to go through all this if you wanted your butt whooped. You know you got me on speed dial. So Barry done had to remind them why he's the Crimson Blur and he was really out here schmoovin'. Captain Boomerang with cat-like reflexes somehow hits Barry, allowing Captain Cold to freeze one of his legs and having our boy stuck to a wall, and Barry's just like, yo, I know this can't be y'all behind this. Y'all ain't smart enough for this. Oh, and that he was right about, as once he uttered those words, the man of generational hate, gaslighting, and pettiness appeared. Oh no, the reverse flashes appeared and you know things are about to get serious. He over here talking like, yeah, bro, you're right. They are too dumb. They didn't even notice the bombs I placed on them when I came in. And the rogue's expressions on being a hoodwink is priceless, as Reverse Flash had set bombs on everyone big enough to take down downtown, meaning the life of millions of people, including Barry. And the Flash tries to reason him like, bro, you ain't gotta go through all that. You wanna kill me, just kill me. Nah, bro, you're missing the bigger picture. You dying is cool, but you dying knowing that 100,000 other people are dying, that's priceless. So Barry comes with the idea of how to save everybody by sticking the Reverse Flash with the same stuff that he has on him. But for you, viewer, if you just do not know who the Reverse Flash and do not know the depths of his pettiness and not giving an F, this thing he says next will clarify and paint the perfect picture for you.
Disarm the bombs, or you blow up with us.
If it means shattering your golden throne in history, then my life is a small price to pay.
Luckily for Flash, the pre-52 Justice League arrives to help them with his bomb crisis. But since it's a future tech, they had to go and hit the Reverse Flash with a lasso of truth to figure out a way to disarm it. And bro with the straightest face told the truth like, nah, brodies, we all cooked. Oh no, this man is a lost cause, so the Justice League had to figure out a creative way of disarming the bomb. Cyborg used his tech to hack into one, Aquaman used billions of bacteria to eat through the wiring. But I gotta say, I feel like Heatwave got the short straw because Superman didn't even try to be creative with it. He's like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna put my hands together and we're just gonna wait till it blows up, all right? And even though this is Superman's first try at doing this and it worked, I'm just saying I would have been pooping my bridges the whole time. Now with only one bomb left, the Reverse Flash tries to rub in this moment into the Flash's face, and the Flash says, hey bro, you might have my powers, but you don't got the imagination to use them. So my boy makes a Rasengan to disarm the bomb. I ain't gonna lie, the first time I saw that, I did not know my boy was a shinobi, but that was pretty dope. But even though the hero saved the day, the Reverse Flash, the psychopathy is make sure to still rub it into Barry like, hey, we can do this rat race all you want, but no matter what, you can never save the one person that mattered, that being Barry's mom. But these words echo in Barry's head, really getting to him, and he decides that he needs to run it off. But after that flash, Barry actually wakes back up his office, but something's amiss. The rogues that he just put away are already out, no one knows who the Flash is, and crazy of all,
Barry, are you all right?
oh yeah, that's right, Barry mom is still alive. And this is a good time to tell you how F this universe is, as someone went back in time and made a ripple effect akin to a sonic boom that pushed everything 3 inches to the right and set off a butterfly effect that triggered everything that we're about to talk about. For instance, instead of the bullet hitting Thomas Wayne and Martha, it actually gets pushed to the right and goes straight through little Brucey's head, leaving Thomas to beat the robber senseless, and him then becoming the Batman and Martha becoming the Joker. Oh yeah, this timeline is already effed. And it only gets worse because instead of Superman landing in a field to be adopted by the Clarks, he crash lands right on top of Metropolis, killing millions, and gets adopted to the government program to run tests on him, never seeing the light of day. And see, those two were just caused from the sonic boom of going back in time. But with the timeline being so messed up, other rules and things of the world were broken as well that we'll touch on when we get to them. But the most important one to touch on now, since there was no Justice League, Superman, or Batman, that means there was 2 contenders for Wonder Woman not to fawn over, instead had to settle for our boy Aquaman. Only Shotty was trying to choke up on a fish stick, she was feeling my man. Boy was about to show Shotty how life is like under the sea. All this adultery in front of my man's wife. Like, nah bro, y'all could have been a little slicker with it. Queen Meryl was not having it. She ran up to Wonder Woman after they finished like, you home wrecking harlot. Oh, and bro, this is why you let's let Wonder Woman have her way, because she like, yo, you ain't about to talk to me like that, shawty, and detaches Mara's head from her body and then just rocks her crown. Oh yeah, this Wonder Woman is a straight savage. She has no humility. Oh, Aquaman over here gotta try to play it off like it wasn't all his fault. He like, yeah, let's go to war with him. Yeah, let's do it. And with that, it set off a war between Atlantis and Themyscira, which crazy enough, instead of them just fighting like at their terrain, they're like, nah, we're gonna go attack Europe. Like, dang, what did they do, bro? Besides give us KSI and James Gordon, and you know what? Maybe they're onto something. I'm gonna let them cook. But these two factions were out for full world dominations as they were attacking each other and the people, and didn't care how many people had to die for it. Yo, Aquaman had the steadfast Aquaboy from Young Justice out here catching body, going mano a mano against Clayface, Deathstroke, and Lex Luthor. Bro, he even had Black Manta on his side. Like, bro, ain't y'all supposed to like be mortal enemies? How the heck? And Wonder Woman's so lost in it, she even kills the man that she was supposed to be in love with by giving this boy a rope hug. And of course, if you're a regular to this channel and have watched my other videos, you know who gets done the dirtiest. As our Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, is just not a Green Lantern. Because the weird thing is, Abin's sword still died, but I guess because of one of the new rules that got overridden in this universe, instead of the Lantern Ring going to find the nearest person with hope, it just flew back to the Guardians instead, making Hal Jordan just a regular pilot. But hey, being a regular guy is not bad. I mean, he's still a hero in heart. But when I mentioned all the videos that we covered, this was the moment that you knew what they were going to do to Hal Jordan in the New 52 era. Because they asked this man to go on a kamikaze run with a nuclear bomb straight into the Atlantis headquarters ship. And Hal Jordan accepted this thing, and he was taking one for the country, flew straight to him, and became fish food. Nah, rip my man's entire purpose, bro. Didn't even kill one single Atlantean, bruh. So Flash, realizing how effed up this timeline actually is, goes to seek out Thomas Wayne and tries to convince him to help him get his powers back, telling him that his son was alive and actually became the Batman and saves people, and him and Martha were actually dead. And to Thomas Wayne, that sounds like heaven compared to what he's actually going through. So after their painful conversation, decides he can help the Flash, and the Flash feels like the best thing to do is for him to get his powers back and go ahead and try to fix the timeline. And the way of doing this is by reenacting the incident that gave him his powers in the first place, which if you don't know, means mixing a whole bunch of chemicals and being struck by lightning. Ooh. Yo, and Thomas is looking at this man like crazy, like, yo, I don't know what you were cooking up, but you might need to go to Arkham. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Oh, and Barry's like, nah, man, don't worry about it. I got this. No problem. I don't know, bro, trying to turn into the Flash or not, because boy was cooked to a crisp. Thomas is looking at him like, oh my God, what have we done? Oh, but the Flash ain't get his power back, so he look at Thomas like crazy, like, put me back in the chair. Oh, so they went for round 2 and Thomas had to take a shot before. He like, yo, this man might actually die right now. Are you ready for round 2? No, just give me a second to catch up. Did you get your powers back? Do it one more time. But third time was a charm, as Barry done got his powers back and was able to become the Flash once again. And boy did not hesitate. He didn't even let boy finish his sentence, and he started running trying to fix the timeline ASAP, just to find out that he cannot tap into the Speed Force enough, as someone is siphoning the power from him, and fails to try to go back. Realize him and Thomas need to reach out to Cyborg and try to get some more people on their side to at least hold off this war until he can figure what's going on. Which, cutting to Cyborg, who's talking to Barack Obama. Hey, at least we still got our first black president. That's all I'm saying. What's good, my cl? So the team decides they need to get some firepower and actually seek out Superman, who, like we said earlier, landed on Metropolis and was put into an experimental program underneath the city. Oh, and when they found him, boy was looking malnourished. That is not Superman, that is Jack Skellington. Man of Steel, no, he is looking like the man of tinfoil. And he is like this because they put him in a room surrounded by red light, never even getting a dose of the sunlight and never getting his strength. So the 3 heroes decided to break him out and introduce him to the sun, but once they were out there, they were meted with guards. And I'm just saying, y'all should be out there on the front line fighting. I don't know why you worried about Superman right now. Y'all low-key need every advantage y'all can get. But they start attacking the heroes, and even one guy gets them by surprise, and Superman goes and stops the missile, saving Cyborg as he looks at him and the others as friends now. But Superman was starting to feel himself. He like, yo, I could do that. What else can I do? And he started using the heat vision, and boy started erasing people from existence. Now, this had to inspire Century because boy was was leaving black streaks on the ground. Kyle, seeing what he has done, says, nah, F this, I am a monster, and dip, leaving R3 back to square one as their backup plan just flew away. So they have to reconvene and come up with another backup plan to try to stop all this. And after Flash gives a heroic speech on what being a hero is all about, they decide, hey, let's tackle this thing head on. And if they could take down Aquaman or Wonder Woman, they might be in the clear. So they hop in the bat plane, and that is not the bat plane. I like how Thomas kept bat theme on everything else, but he's like, nah, I am keeping the jet, my boy. But while they're flying in just the jet, Thomas ends up showing Barry something very important, as Lois Lane had actually catch another speedster on camera. This one being a yellow blur that belongs to Eobard Thawne. But once knowing that he was going to be where they are, they knew that was going to be their top priority for Barry to go get his Speed Force back. Cutting over to the battlefield, the Amazons and Atlanteans are going head to head, and it is pure chaos. Alkalad's over here catching bodies, Black Manta's vaporizing people, the Amazonians went and released Cerberus and a huge Minotaur to help fight for him. It was nothing but bloodshed. And then when Aquaman and Wonder Woman locked eyes, it was on sight. These boys started charging to each other, killing every troop in their path. They clash weapons and Aquaman smacks her across the face with the aqua boot. Wonder Woman heard the hut hike and tackled man through a wall. Oh, and she was about to filet-o-fish my man right here, but he done swept her off her feet, done readied up WrestleMania style and hit her with the people's elbow. Then he just started bashing her head and slamming her all over the place. And this boy Aquaman has the gall to say, you killed my wife. You started this war over some cutty. Hey, all I'm saying is she ain't lying though. Boy might be more mad she ain't let him hit again. But they really start getting to the bows and started mixing each other up. But before one of them can land a decisive blow, they actually get split up by Flash's team, with Wonder Woman having to go against this world's version of Shazam, who instead of just being Billy Batson, is actually takes all 6 members of the Shazam family to form Captain Thunder. And I ain't gonna hold you, this version of Shazam actually looked pretty fine. Boy looked like he been through it. And him and Wonder Woman get to tussling while the others take on Aquaman. And bro, Aquaman in any other dimension is just a problem. They were struggling trying to take this man down. And in the chaos of this fight, Thomas actually gets hit in the back by Aquaman's brother, and Flash has to yoink him out of there before he dies. And Thomas is already accepting his fate, knowing that he ain't no doctor, but he's probably gonna be dying. And the Flash tries to hit him with a whole sappy thing about being a hero and how they're gonna make it through this, and he's gone. And in his place,
Hello, Barry.
oh yeah, the man of pettiness has arrived again. Oh, and Barry wasn't here for the talking. They start getting into chasing immediately. They was running up and down the streets and buildings. They even jumped off a building and hit some Tony Hawk Pro Skater-ish, doing an airwalk off of this while still fighting. And land onto another building that's kind of clean. But Reverse Flash gets Barry to a location and ends up stabbing him through the leg. And boy was starting to pick on Barry, showing that pettiness was seeping through. Started punching, beating up Barry, picking him back up and beating him up again. Like, nah, bro, this boy is too much. And while that's happening, it is looking even worse for the people on the battlefield, as Wonder Woman has got the one up on Captain Thunder, hitting him with the lasso of truth and making him de-transform. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's done here. Maybe she'll knock one of them out. And oh my God, she just took out Billy Batson. Nah, this universe and Injustice, boy, they have it out for Billy. They are making sure he gotta die. I'm just saying, if your plan has to have you X out a kid, you are probably not the hero. Oh, and it was not looking good for Cyborg either, as Aquaman was dismantling this man piece by piece, even had his heart showing. Oh, and he was about to X out Cyborg until the man of tinfoil had arrived. Just saying, you could have came in a little sooner. But he just hugs Cyborg and waits for blissful death. As Aquaman, losing an arm in this universe as well, looks around and sees that his forces are utterly defeated by the Amazons, and ends up taking a back shot from Wonder Woman, who tells him it is over and he needs to submit. And boy's like, yo, I'd rather kill everybody than let my people become slaves. So as Diana was putting in the finishing blow, our boy activates his failsafe, or we have Atlantean scientists looking at his creation, talking like he is Oppenheimer, like, yo, because of you, I'm gonna kill billions of people. Because the thing that he created was Captain Atom strapped to a bomb. And man was like, no, I cannot be the cause for millions. It tries to get him out of there, but it was too late, as it was activated and Captain Atom exploded, erasing everything in the vicinity. Barry, witnessing all this madness, is looking at Reverse Flash like, yo, how could you do this to the world? You're a monster. And that's where Eobard explains and reveals the truth, that he had nothing to do with this. And this was all because of Barry. As Barry went back in time and saved his mother, it set off that ripple boom that butterflied effect all of this into happening. Oh, and Eobard was rubbing it in like, yeah, this is all your fault. I ain't do none of this. If you want to know what I did, I'll just tell you.
It was me, Barry. I'm the one that flew those kids to the Highland. I knew what those celebrities and politicians were doing, and I just didn't say anything about it.
You monster, Eobard.
Oh, that's not even the half of it, Barry. It was me, Barry. I'm the one that failed Adolf from art school. It was me, Barry. I'm the one that animated that really questionable scene in Lion King that awakened something in you. Now you can't even make it through Space Jam or Digimon without pitching a tent.
No.
Yes, it was me, Barry. I'm the one that keeps putting that big hole in every jar of peanut butter you ever ate. I thought every jar just came like that, not knowing that I just put my in it.
You should let a man know when you're giving him extra nutty peanut butter. Barry being saved by Batman taking out Reverse Flash actually allowed him to tap into the Speed Force to its full potential once again, and Batman tells him to start running, and that he did. As he was running faster and faster, trying to escape the blast, able to tap into the Speed Force and stop himself from saving his mother, letting her die so he can have the timeline go back to somewhat normal. And I say somewhat very loosely, as Barry's action causing the Flashpoint paradox actually led to side effects in the timeline, where instead of the original DC universe that we grew up with as kids, now starts the new age of the New 52. Thus why all the heroes, including Barry's outfits, are totally different than what they were in the beginning. But Barry actually goes over to Batman and tells him all the things that happened and how he remembers all 3 timelines he was in, even all the birthdays and times he spent with his mom. And then Batman tells him straight up, hey bro, you should look at this as somewhat of a blessing, I guess, a gift from the universe. And speaking of gifts, Barry actually got a gift from Thomas to give to Batman, giving him a letter and telling him how much he loved him as a son. And with that, Barry was off to go and save the day yet again. And I have to say, it's crazy that we finally got to the beginning of this timeline, even though we've covered just about every other movie in this series. And you can check that out right here with this playlist where we covered about every movie in the New 52. But I will say, if you want to see a new take on superheroes, you should check out our newest video that we just posted about Dispatch, a whole game about superheroes, and we do it in the style of this video. So you should check that out. I think it's one of our best ones, and make sure y'all like, subscribe, and go support that video. And you know what? Go ahead and hype up.